Another tutorial today. This will be a talk. One of my students this week asked me, while looking at the series Alice, Robert and Me, I told Alice that I was thinking about suspending the lessons. And why did I decide not to suspend it? And which were the reasons to suspend it eventually? Well, I will explain a bit how I think about and how I work with professionals and which are the boundaries in which I must remain. The system on which I work, you start understanding, is not just the voluntary system and what normally we call the technical system, like driving a car, but I basically work on the car. Working on the car means that I work on how the structural instrument works. In this instrument we have many parts, we have many waves of learning, not just one, and we have many effects of this work. So one of the basic, most important effect is that I give the structure the possibility of doing new things. I don't give immediately the order to control those things. So I give the structure a possibility of doing. If you're singers or you're songwriters or you're studying, you have experienced that in some sort. Sometimes it happens that you find things. You find what made you a songwriter. You find something that you can't explain in a technical way, but you have a path internal and a way of and a strategy to find out something that is truly yours. And it's very often the best you can offer, the best you can give as a musician, and it has really something very specific. It is really related with your creative part. It is related with something that inside your body knows that it can do. So when I work on giving these possibilities, not in explaining those possibilities. I don't need you to immediately understand, because to understand it's tricky. We are not sure that we understand everything. Probably what we understand, it's a reduction of the possibility we are creating. So we must understand with another part. The other part is a more complex way of structuring things. It is the artistic part, it is the dreaming part, it is the creative part, it is the part connected to subconscious, connected to perceiving of the world, connected to your reactive capacity. I give actions possible related to that part. So basically what it happens that the system were able to think, to dream, to act on what you knew it could act on, and then putting all those creative and artistic things on that and using those tools. I give many more tools that the singer can perceive and can understand. I also do that on purpose, because I just give other tools, other ingredients, knowing perfectly that I can manage to give them at a speed in which the system will use into something that it's yet itself. That's why they don't lose themselves. If I was giving those and putting attention on those and putting attention on how to use them, you have the system, you have the new, you focus on that. You will not put that into the system. To me, this is very important to take care of that, especially when I'm working with professionals, because professionals have yet a system working in a way in which they have organized everything around to make things function. They're not totally dysfunctional. When they're totally dysfunctional, I ask them to get back where they're functional. And I ask them not to change, to get effective themselves, because they are exiled. When they function as Alice, for example, or as was Eleonora Bianchini or many others, this part that function must take the new possibilities into itself. If I take that part and I push that part too much big, it will be very difficult and very stiff and very risky to integrate into. You will have probably the focus and the attention to get there, and they will not feel lost at the first time because they love those things we are taking, but they are getting too far away from them. And I prefer that they take into, and eventually, when it is one thing, they choose to get there, to get here, to get there. But it's a choice after, not a choice before. So what was happening? It was happening that Alice was taking a lot from me. I asked her in this time to sing a lot on herself, to do a lot of her music, to do a lot of things on her own, and she wasn't doing. So she wasn't taking those things into. And I felt that she was very, very pushed by those new things. That is a fantastic thing. But I needed her to put into. That's why I said, okay, I stop. Because I don't want to make you overcharged. I don't want you to make overwhelmed. Even if everything is correct, too much is too much. And I needed her to find her way without explanations. Just to find herself more focused. Not to find someone else. Even if she does want to change. She was so good. She was not scared about what I was telling, but she calmed herself down. Calming down was okay. I take away the speed. I'll just remain there. Eventually. And we made another step forward. And that's why I didn't stop. Because she did by herself what was necessary. Not to stop. Not to need the time of stopping. And that's why I did put the short clips after. Because after she started getting back into her songs. And getting into some other songs. Exactly how she perceived herself in the last years. Not differently. With a different solution. Not a different mind. It's too soon for a different mind. A different mind is not for her now. And it's not up to me to choose. That's very important. Very, very important. Hope it's more clear.